Hi everybody, in this video we're going to talk about the negatives of the Giant Contend AR. Okay, so the first negative with this bike, and just as a heads up, there's not many negatives with this bike. I was really having to dig for some negatives. But the first one, you saw it probably on my longer review. If you haven't seen that, be sure to check out that review. But the wheels and the tires. Now the wheels are very heavy. They're 2,000 plus grams, maybe even more. So very heavy wheels there. And then the tires are the Giant Fondo 700 by 32C tires. They really kind of feel like wood. They're not supple at all, not comfortable at all. Now they are tubeless compatible, and I wasn't able to test them in tubeless format, so that could be totally different. But from other people I've seen with the reviews and everything, that was one of the negatives they said about those tires, that they're not supple. And so yeah, with that, wheels and tires, the wheels are the PR2 disc wheel set from Giant, which is one of their entry-level wheel sets, and like I said, super heavy, and tires super hard. So the second negative thing about the Giant Contend AR1 would be the Shimano R7000 shifters. Whenever you're riding over anything that's real rough, what will happen is the shifters will rattle real bad. And I guess it's from the vibration from the road. And I was on a road, like, you know, it was asphalt, but it wasn't super rough, but it still was rattling. It was very loud, kind of annoying. Not the end of the world, but that's something that you will experience if you go with the Giant Contend AR1 with the Shimano 105 R7000. I'm pretty sure this is a common complaint between all bikes with Shimano R7000, so this is not just specific to the Giant. So I wonder if you could probably put some tape or something there to keep it from rattling. If you have any tricks that you've tried with your R7000 shifters to keep them from rattling, be sure to leave them in the comments below so everyone else can benefit from that. The last thing is going to be the saddle rail adjustment, or I should say the seat post. The thing with the Giant is, so they have a proprietary seat post that is that diffuse shape, and it is awesome. I love that seat post. You probably heard me rant and rave about it in the other video. So that seat post is awesome. Now, the one negative about it is with some saddles, and with mine it was a Shimano Pro Stealth. It has a lower profile, so if you have a lower profile saddle, what will happen is the front bolt will actually hit the saddle. So now I was running my saddle really far forward, and the seat post is kind of a setback by, I think it's 15 or 20 millimeter. So that could also be why. If I move my saddle backwards, the bolt was not an issue. Now you can go to Giant's website. They actually have a zero setback diffuse seat post for around $75. It's carbon, really good deal. So if you are running a really far forward saddle position, you probably want to invest in that seat post, and that goes for all Giant bikes that have that diffuse seat post. So a few things, I actually tried to see if I could take that longer bolt out and drop it through the seat post and put a new bolt in there that was shorter. I was not able to do that. Actually, Giant has it where it's fixed inside of there, so you can't get that out. There's a few things you could do. You could probably try to put some kind of foam under your saddle where the screw's kind of hitting. Another option would be to actually Dremel the top of the bolt. If you do that, just as a heads up, and that would be my last resort, by the way, but if you do that, you want to be sure that you have the nut on it, and then Dremel, and then screw the nut off, so that way it will re-thread the top of it and you won't have any issues there, okay? So once again, if you Dremel that or decide to modify it, be sure the nut's on, Dremel it off, and then take the nut off to re-thread it there. So, but yeah, that's really my 3 complaints of the Giant Contend AR1, and one of them you can upgrade. all right, with the wheels and tires. One of them is actually not Giant's issue, it's the Shimano shifters, so that's another thing. And the last one is really kind of a negative, I mean, it's a pro and a con, because the seat post is so good as far as dampening things, but yet you do have the negative as far as like compatibility with other things, and you can't just throw on whatever seat post you want. So okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it beneficial. If you enjoy this content, be sure to subscribe below, ring the little bell if you'd like notifications, and thank you again for watching.